Right now at 10, just 2 hours to go before it's lights out at Houska Park Campground, and people living in the park are supposed to be out by midnight.
And calling for change. A group of La Crosse residents say people should vote yes on the school referendum to bring schools together.
Plus, a homemade haunting. A family brings the scares right to their West Salem neighborhood.
You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now at 10.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us for News 8 Now at 10. I'm Ken Kozarowski.
And I'm Amy DuPont. In just 2 hours, the permit for La Crosse's Houska Park Campground will expire. Unsheltered people are expected to leave the park by midnight.
But as our duo Israr found out, there are still many tents and people in the park.
As you can see right behind me, there are still several tents and people at Houska Park. La Crosse's Homeless Service Coordinator Brian Sampson says the city has no plans to remove these tents and will not forcibly remove anyone at Houska Park, but the campground will shut down at midnight. When the clock strikes midnight, water and power will shut down at Houska Park. La Crosse's Homeless Service Coordinator Brian Sampson says the city has been working with community nonprofits, including the Salvation Army and Catholic Charities, to find shelter for people who are homeless.
If you're following their rules and their guidelines and utilizing their facility appropriately.
Salvation Army's Director of Development Isaiah Thomas says roughly 7 people have come to the Salvation Army seeking shelter.
Hasn't been like a huge overflow of individuals, but the space is available and we're encouraging people who are seeking shelter.
Thomas says the Salvation Army is offering shelter to those who want to commit to the nonprofit's emergency program.
We are asking that they come this way if they're ready for an emergency program-based shelter.
He says people who are looking for a warming shelter will be redirected to the Catholic Charities. Sampson says once all the warming shelters reach capacity, La Crosse's Mayor Mitch Reynolds will issue an emergency decree. The Southside neighborhood and the Northside Policing Center will be used as overflow shelters only during the night.
It'd be very difficult for us to hire staff to run them during the day, and I know that some of the facilities we're looking at have daytime obligations already.
Sampson says there aren't enough dayside shelter spaces in the community, and there is a large likelihood individuals will use public and private spaces around La Crosse to stay warm.
We don't have that one place where people are able to utilize for a day center, and we just have to be prepared as a community and plan the best that we can.
Sampson says the city of La Crosse is committed to not criminalizing homelessness. He says tickets can be issued for trespassing or breaking a city ordinance, but not for being homeless. Reporting in Houska Park, Dua Israr, News 8 Now.
Thank you, Dua.
Sampson says the county is providing families with hotel vouchers. Individuals will be directed to warming shelters.
Beautiful day for this final day of October. Bill, what a night for trick-or-treating.
It sure was. In fact, official term for today, spooktacular. Temperatures well above average, mid to upper 60s for most, including 67 in La Crosse, 66 in Sparta, even flirting with 70 down in Boscobel. And again, just a picture-perfect evening for trick-or-treaters overnight, or I should say earlier this evening across the region. Now, we do have some high and mid-level clouds off to the north and west that will track across parts of the area overnight, but even the moon will be able to filter through. Of course, nothing falling from those clouds. We're still at 46 in La Crosse, 43 in Winona, 51 in Viroqua, some chillier 30s in our traditional colder spots to the north and east. So expect another seasonably chilly overnight. Again, a few high clouds passing through, lows in the 30s for most, including 39 in La Crosse. Now, we had some pretty thick fog in spots this morning. Tomorrow morning, it should be pretty isolated as winds will be up just enough to prevent it from being as widespread and as thick. Otherwise, school cast for the first day of November, what? 71 degrees? That's more like what we would expect in late September, and lots of sunshine as well. Those numbers are going to stick around for a few days as well. Details coming up.
Thank you, Bill.
Well, at least 36 people want to speak at the sentencing hearing for the man convicted of the Waukesha parade tragedy. On Wednesday, a jury found Darrell Brooks guilty of killing 6 people and injuring dozens of others. Today, the judge set aside 2 full days to allow everyone who wants to speak the opportunity to do so. Brooks says 20 people will speak on his behalf. His sentencing is scheduled for November 15th and 16th.
The Black River Falls woman charged with sex crimes, including child pornography, is headed to trial. Jennifer Zilmer waived her right to a preliminary hearing. She is being held in the Jackson County Jail on $4,000 cash. Zilmer's husband Casey is also charged with similar crimes. He's being held on $10,000 cash.
On this Halloween night, safe trick-or-treating is a priority for local law enforcement. Probation and parole agents did their checks on homes of registered sex offenders to make sure trick-or-treaters were safe. Department of Correction officials did random stops at homes to make sure offenders didn't have any Halloween decorations out or a costume or passed out any candy. All sex offenders, not just child sex offenders, have to sign a Halloween contract agreeing to the rules. But a probation officer we spoke to says she's been doing this for 20 years and arrests are not unusual.
Sometimes they feel that it doesn't apply to them and they make a wrong choice and go against the contract. And so yeah, there's been some custodies over the years. We're hoping tonight that everyone is in compliance.
Good, how are you?
Agent Paff says if you see any suspicious activity, call the Sex Offender Safe Tip Line or call 911 if you feel threatened.
The midterm election now just over a week away, and the candidates are sprinting to the finish line. Democratic candidate for Wisconsin Senate seat Mandela Barnes stopped at the UW La Crosse today, and after speaking with students, Barnes and members of the crowd walked or pedaled to campus polling locations to vote early. In light of the attack on Nancy Pelosi's husband, we asked Barnes if he's concerned about the safety of elected officials.
The conversation has gotten so out of control, and it feels as if, there are candidates who just want to not just win the election, they want you to hate the opponent, and that's not the way things should be done.
Barnes is running for the seat currently held by Republican Ron Johnson.
Voters in La Crosse will also weigh in on a school referendum. Members of the Vote Yes for La Crosse Schools group say they support consolidating the city's high schools for many reasons, from minimal property tax increases to more electives and clubs for students. Group members say although the two high school system has worked for many years, now is the time for change.
I understand that there is a rich history, but we are one city, and I really believe that together we will be stronger. We will create a better future for our children. And I am excited about our kids being together.
And we'll post a link with more information about the referendum at news8000.com.
Open enrollment for U.S. healthcare starts tomorrow. The certified navigators at Wisconsin Workforce Connections are going to help anyone who would like to enroll. Ahead of open enrollment, though, the Wisconsin Insurance Commissioner held an event in La Crosse. He says services offered like those at Workforce Connections benefit people and families trying to navigate the system.
This is the chance for anyone who doesn't have insurance through their employer or through Medicaid or Medicare to look for insurance and sign up for affordable, high-quality health insurance coverage for themselves and their family.
According to recent research, navigators are critical to helping underserved consumers like adults who don't speak English get access to coverage.
Still ahead tonight at 10, a Winona teacher gets a whole assembly just for her.
After decades in the classroom, she is the Teacher of the Year.
Plus, the president of a La Crosse dealership is up for a nationwide award. He says the entire team made the nomination possible.
This is our community. And while the present moment may feel unpredictable, we are here to help you stay focused on the future. So stay safe, stay strong, and stay confident with Gillespie and Associates.
He pushed tax loopholes benefiting himself. Send him back and he'll make things worse. Ron Johnson would let Wisconsin ban abortion, even in cases of rape, and said if you don't like it, you can move. He voted to raise the retirement age and wants to end guaranteed spending on the Social Security you earned.
Social Security is a legal Ponzi scheme, but that's exactly what it is.
Ron Johnson, still making it harder on us. SMP is responsible for the content of this ad.
Round and round she goes. Where she stops, nobody knows. Remodeling your kitchen or bath should not be a gamble where you go here and go there and everywhere to find all the necessary products, hoping you can then coordinate the carpenter, plumber, electrician, and flooring installation. A dream project can quickly become a nightmare. Here on Copeland Avenue, find the products, designers, and our own team of carpenters, plumber, electricians, and flooring installers to complete your project on time and on budget. One stop for worry-free remodeling experience, the Board Store.
His job was to serve and protect. Instead, reports say Dave Estenson assaulted and preyed on girls for years. One report of sexually assaulting a teenager. Multiple reports of Estenson trying to coerce girls into sexual favors to avoid citations. And Estenson wants to ban all abortions, forcing victims of rape and incest to carry their predator's child. Sexual predators belong behind bars, not in the state Senate.
Retirement is one of the most important decisions you'll ever make, so you need to get it right. At Gillespie & Associates, we'll design a plan so you can retire on your terms. I'm Private Wealth Advisor Tim Gillespie, and I'm here to help.
A Winona Elementary School kicked off Halloween with a special surprise.
Pretty cool. The Winona Education Association announced its Teacher of the Year this morning, and the recipient had no idea the assembly was for her.
Quite a shock. Kirsten Schultz teaches 3rd grade at Jefferson Elementary, and she says winning this award reminds her of why she started teaching.
I have always wanted to be a teacher since 3rd grade, and this is my 31st year of teaching, and I have taught 3rd grade most of them. And I love being with the students every day. I love the excitement when they come to school and they want to be here.
Oh, congratulations, and get this. Schultz's mom, brother, husband, and daughter all came from out of town for her big day.
An unforgettable day, for sure. Well, Time is recognizing a local car dealer for a big award in the automotive industry. Andrew Dahl of Dahl Automotive is up for the 2023 Time Dealer of the Year. It's an award that recognizes the nation's most successful auto dealers who also show a commitment to community service. Now, each state auto association nominates one dealer, and the winner of the national event receives $10,000 to give to charity. Dahl says it's humbling for his peers to have him represent this state, but he doesn't see it as an individual award.
I'm not the one selling, servicing the cars, taking care of our guests. It's our team, and so it's really, I'm just really excited for our team and greater organization, just to really validate the good work that our team is doing.
Now, Dahl's community efforts include an addiction center for women, the La Crosse Area YMCA, and the Dahl Family Foundation. He'll be recognized at a national event in Dallas next January.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah.
Well, coming up, a neighborhood haunt.
We'll check out a West Salem Halloween attraction where homeowners have built their own haunted house right in their front yard.
Democrats defunded and dispirited our police, creating the worst crime wave in decades. Biden spent us into 40-year high inflation, drove gas prices to record levels, and opened our borders, causing a flood of illegal immigrants and deadly drugs. Mandela Barnes supports all the policies causing you and your family so much pain. He will rubber stamp their liberal agenda. Mandela Barnes sides with radical leftists, not with you.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
The Treehouse, treasures from the heart.
The Treehouse Gift and Home on Alaska, treasures from the heart. Browse our large selection of unique Christmas gifts and decorations, some handcrafted gifts by local artists from right here in the Coulee region. The Treehouse Holiday Open House, November 3rd through the 5th, featuring personalized local artist ornaments and gifts, new rotating tree bases, and a free snowman hot cocoa with a $40 purchase.
As an Army commander, I served God, family, and country. But the media, they say none of that matters anymore. When I was 9 years old, my dad handed me a shovel and put me to work. Nowadays, people get paid to sit on the couch. I'm Tim Michaels. I'm not some career politician. I'm a self-made businessman who doesn't give a rip about the special interests or their money. I'm running for governor to turn Madison upside down and take back the freedoms that make Wisconsin great.
Tim Michaels for governor. You protected our rights, preserved our freedom. You may have even risked your life for us. Now, it's our turn to fight for you. Your local Wisconsin emergency, energy, and housing assistance providers, and the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund reward the service of our veterans with rental and energy support in their time of crisis. Apply today to get the fresh start you've earned.
You've heard what women say about working at Tim Michaels' company, that they were groped.
A male superior groped the crotch and inner thigh of a female employee
and pressured to have sex with their bosses. And now we know more. According to an attorney involved in the case, when the only woman on a Michaels road crew was sexually harassed on the job, the company did not take it seriously. From the top down. From the top down. If that's how Tim Michaels runs his company, how do you think he'd run the state?
Fall Home Show going on now at the Bourne Store. Visit today and see what's new and get your $250 discount coupon. Register for prizes and visit with designers. Hope to see you soon.
You expect more, so thank you for watching News 8 Now.
On one of the spookiest nights of the year, one West Salem couple made sure to bring the screams.
The Pettis family built a haunted house in their yard. Now, this all started about 5 years ago when their son had to do a high school senior exit project. He wanted to do something Halloween-related for the community.
Since then, and even after he's moved out, the Pettis' homemade haunted house continues to grow.
Every year we try to add to what we have. Granted, our Halloween collection outdoes my Christmas collection, but it's well worth it to see all the kids' faces at Halloween time.
Now, the family says neighborhood kids have been asking about the haunted house since September 1st. They started working on the display at the end of September and put on the finishing touches just last night.
Wow.
So they are hoping to keep it going next year and have even considered building a more permanent haunted house somewhere nearby.
And you saw our very own Eric Dean. He was brave enough with our photographer Gatlin Swan to walk through that haunted house, and he jumped and I jumped here.
Oh, absolutely.
It was crazy. Kudos to our photographer out there that Bill was steady as a rock, yeah.
And I was still consoling Eric about an hour or two after he got back to the station from walking through that scary haunted house.
Yeah,
So, but
they did a
he's
good
all
job.
good now.
That's what the chief does.
That's right. That's right. I'm taking care of everyone. All right. Took care of the weather today as well, right? Beautiful, beautiful day. Look at that beautiful sun set earlier this evening and beautiful afterglow as well. Just a really, really nice evening for trick-or-treating and to be out and about for all those Halloween festivities. High today, 67 degrees after a seasonably chilly morning low of 34. That 67 is 13 degrees above average. Not record territory, though. That's 79, set way back in 1933. 46 degrees out at the airport, still 48 downtown at the station here. Winds out of the southeast at around 5 to 10, and the Mississippi falling a bit, 4.87. Good evening to you folks up in Eau Claire, 39 degrees, so chillier, and a clear sky and calm winds. Now, I want you to note the lack of cold air. That's why I've got the expansive view here. Everyone in the 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s, even all the way to the U.S.-Canadian border. So there's really just no cold air in sight. Of course, we've got some 30s in the Rocky Mountains and some 30s locally as well. In fact, 31 in Black River Falls, 33 in Sparta, 36 in Volk Field. But again, no dump of really cold air at this time. Temperatures elsewhere in the 40s, even some 50s still left down in Viroqua and Decorah. And winds are light out of the southwest generally at about 5 to 10. So just some high clouds. Those will track southeast across the area this evening and overnight, but high pressure in full control, keeping one area of low pressure to our south and east, kind of keeping the storm track to the north as well. So it's going to be dry and mild for the next at least 3 days. Clear to partly cloudy tonight, lots of sunshine for tomorrow, and a few more clouds as we head into the day on Wednesday. Also increasing winds from the south, but again, that's a warming wind, and that's why temperatures are going to be so mild. Speaking of, how about lower 70s, right around 71, maybe even 72 degrees in the La Crosse area. Upper 60s to low 70s tomorrow in our southern communities, and more of the same as we fly back to the north. 70 in Warrens and Blair and Whitehall, Mondovi coming in at 70 degrees as well. Eau Claire and Chippewa Falls probably in the upper 60s, 66 in Thorpe, and 67 for you folks up in Ladysmith. Beautiful start to the month of November. So a few high clouds passing through overnight. Seasonably cool, lows around 39 degrees in the Cross. Again, a very warm start to November. 71 degrees, that is more typical of late September, so that's kind of how abnormally warm we are. 70s continue through Thursday, kind of breezy Wednesday and Thursday, and then finally some much needed rain chances return Thursday night into Friday. In fact, some pretty good chances for periodic rain showers on Friday and Saturday. That will cool things down back into the 50s as well, just closer to average. Still some lingering showers potentially on Sunday, and a chance of a few showers next Tuesday. Election Day, finally. I'm sure all of you are just wanting to see some more political ads, right? Don't forget to fall back an hour this weekend, early Sunday morning, as we see the end of daylight saving time. So we get an extra hour to maybe catch another political ad or two.
Right, or close our eyes. Close our eyes.
Exactly.
Thanks, Bill.
Okay.
Coming up in sports, last night's Packers game, not great. But Kate says there was a bright spot.
And the Bucs have haunted their opponents to start the season. You'll hear from Giannis on what makes this team so frightening. Kate's in next.
Thank you for watching News 8 Lacrosse. Here are tonight's winning Powerball numbers. tonight.
The lovely, the talented Jennifer Hudson, she might sing, and if she does, wear a seatbelt.
New tonight on CBS. News 8 Sports is brought to you by Mayo Clinic Health System. Whether you need routine care or treatment for a complex condition, Mayo Clinic Health System has convenient and safe options for the care you and your family need.
They found my sister's head in a wood-burning stove, her body in a cornfield, murdered by her own husband. The judge called it the most heinous crime he'd ever seen, and the killer was sent to jail for life. But Tony Evers' parole commission set him free, and they didn't even tell us. Under Evers, hundreds of other violent criminals have been released early. It makes no sense. Governor Evers, everyone in Wisconsin is less safe because of you.
The Cooley region has been good to me and my family, and I wanted to give something back. That's why I ran for the state assembly. And I've tried to do good things in Madison for the people of western Wisconsin. Wisconsin is facing a lot of problems today, and we need people who understand how things work. Right now, Wisconsin has a $5 billion surplus. With that surplus, we need to cut taxes. We need to fix our roads, and we need to fund our schools, and we need to do that now.
You've got a problem. Your furnace is not working. There's a simple fix for that. Well, simple for us. We are G&T Heating and Air Conditioning, and we are experts in fixing your furnace. We have been serving the Cooley region for over 25 years and have the best service techs in the area. They are friendly too. We service all makes and models. If you want fast, reliable service, just give us a call. We are happy to help.
Call G&T. The best heating and air conditioning guaranteed.
I see your hard work, everything you do to try to make it, but people continue to be left behind. I'm running for Senate to put more money in your pocket. Ron Johnson's had 12 years to make things better, but costs are still rising, and all he's managed to do is write a tax cut for himself. I believe better is possible. I believe hard work can pay off, and I'll never stop fighting until it does. I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
News 8 Now Sports is brought to you by Mayo Clinic Health System. Here's News 8 Now's Kate Overton.
After last night's game, it's pretty clear that the Green Bay Packers have some work to do before they're at the top of the NFL. The team dropped to 3-5 on the season and lost 4 straight games for the first time since 2016. It's a rough stretch, but there was plenty of bright spots in last night's game, and really it was just a bad second quarter that cost the Packers the game. The Green Bay Packers' run offense was moving the ball time and time again, and Rodgers made some big throws when he needed to. They had a touchdown get called back and got stopped on 4th and goal, but the opportunity was there. And despite giving up 27 points, the defense played really well for what they were up against. They held Josh Allen to 13 of 25 passing and picked him off twice. It was really just a couple of long plays that killed the defense in the second quarter.
So nobody feels sorry for us. We got to find a way to get one win. I feel like we can just get one, and the whole momentum changes. I thought we had a great week of practice. The energy in the pregame in the locker room was different. It felt like Packers again.
Rodgers mentioned that the team lost their confidence for a few weeks, and they're really starting to gain it back. And there's a lot of season left. If they can get a win next week against the Lions, I think they can still make the playoffs. Also, with the trade deadline being tomorrow, we'll keep a close eye on the Packers front office to see if they make a move. And how about the Vikings? 6-1 for the first time since 2009 when Brett Favre led Minnesota to a 10-1 start. They've got the second best record in the NFL behind the Eagles and have a huge lead over Green Bay in the NFC North. Their offense has been clicking with a well-balanced attack led by Kirk Cousins and Dalvin Cook. Their defense has been slacking, but they're giving the offense a chance at winning the game. Next week, they're on the road in D.C. taking on the Commanders, and then after that, they'll be on the road against the Bills. If you're looking for Wisconsin, if you're a Wisconsin sports fan needing a break from the Packers, you ought to check out the Bucks. They're off to a 5-0 start on the season, and Giannis was just named Eastern Conference Player of the Week for the 18th time in his career. Over the last week, Giannis averaged 35 points, 15 rebounds, 6 assists, and 2 blocks. He's shooting above 50% from the field, and he's doing this all while Chris Middleton is still preparing to make his debut in a few weeks. He's always going to put up the stats, but what makes this team a legitimate contender is their defense.
it's for teams it's hard for them to score on us. As long as we take pride in our defense, we put ourselves in position to win. I think every game that we step out there, no matter if our shots are falling, if we defend, I think we are in a very, very good spot.
All right, Bucks were looking to make that 6-0 tonight as they hosted the Pistons, and this defense was putting on a show. Third quarter, and Drew Holiday causing havoc on the Detroit guards, jumping the pass for the steal, and then on the other end, it's hard to miss him. Throws it up to Giannis, and he slams it home. Bucks go up 7. Just seconds later, Bogdanovic driving, but Brook Lopez coming over for the block. His 1,550th of his career, and then in transition, Holiday sees his man Giannis driving to the hoop for another bucket. Bucks up 9. Now later in the third, just watch the Greek Freak do his thing, taking it up the court, fighting off defenders, and nobody on that Detroit defense is going to even try and stop him. He'd have 26 points, and we're not even in the fourth quarter. But in the fourth, Detroit would make a bit of a comeback. Cade Cunningham drives and kicks to Isaiah Stewart, who finished over Brook Lopez to tie this up. Next possession, Pfizer Forum on its feet. Halloween is over, and it's officially holiday season. Drew Holiday with a step-back 3 over Jaden Ivey gives the Bucks the lead and the win. Milwaukee is now 6-0 to start the season. All right, last thing for tonight is I was going to update you. Actually, I was going to update you on Game 3 of the World Series, but it was actually postponed due to a little rain. I guess nobody wants to play baseball in the rain, so they'll make this one up tomorrow and then push the series back. The series is tied 1-1. That's all I have for sports, and we'll be right back.
Dear Exit Strategy, all your pieces are in place. Thanks for being there when I need you most. Always Toyota SUVs. Toyota, let's go places.
Madison insider and career politician Steve Doyle, completely out of touch. Under Doyle's failed leadership, soaring inflation, high gas prices, rising crime, and party bosses and insiders are funneling over $500,000 to keep Doyle in power, answering to them, not us. It's time for change. Ryan Hipsch, born and raised here in the Cooley region. Ryan is a fresh voice who will always put our communities first, not the Madison insiders. Ryan Hipsch for Assembly.
Breaking news in Dallas, Texas, where at least 5 police officers were killed when they were ambushed.
This was the deadliest day for U.S. law enforcement since 9/11.
Just days after this horrific crime, Mandela Barnes appeared on Vladimir Putin's propaganda news outlet and rationalized violence against American police officers.
Police officers are over-exercising their badges. This probably was a retaliatory attack.
Do you want Mandela Barnes representing you in the Senate?
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
I was in law enforcement for over 40 years, and I can't imagine a better attorney general than Josh Kaul. He's a real prosecutor who's locked up murderers, serial rapists, the really dangerous guys you want off the street, and kept them behind bars. And he'll work with anyone, Republican or Democrat, to get it done. Look, there's more we have to do, but the only one I'd want leading the fight against crime is our Attorney General, Josh Kaul.
Under Tony Evers and Joe Biden, it's been bad, but it's gonna get much worse because winter is coming. That's right. Reports are saying natural gas heating bills are going up by 28%. Inflation has already caused pain at the pump, grocery checkouts, on rent. But this fall, there's still time to stop the winter pain by voting no on Tony Evers before he makes it even worse, if that's possible.
Dear Exit Strategy, all your pieces are in place. Thanks for being there when I need you most. Always Toyota SUVs. Toyota, let's go places.
Expect more from News 8 Now. Thanks for watching.
Happy Halloween. We've got a ghost tale for you. So when the lights go out at the Chicago History Museum, dolls that have spent decades in storage emerge to play.
Just in time for Halloween, the Haunted Dolls and History's Horrors exhibit shares ghost tales about the Windy City's past. Reporter Jackie Kostick gives us a look.
Some new figures are hiding out inside of the Chicago History Museum's Crossroads of America exhibit.
There are 13 dolls that are lurking in areas that they do not belong.
Until recently, the chilling toys were just haunting museum storage. Now, visitors can stare into their vacant, glassy eyes and learn some scary secrets about the city's past.
All the dolls have link to Chicago and Chicago history.
Museum curator Charles Bethea says Chicago has plenty of ghost stories.
Real tragedies and disasters such as the Eastland disaster or the Iroquois Theater fire, to some of the more popularly known ghost tales like the woman in gray or the woman in red who threw herself off allegedly from the Congress Hotel. This particular doll has been in our collection for a number of years.
For decades, she was stored next to a gigantic distorted mirror.
Her face, over the period of time, has become disfigured. So you have to ask, what did she see in that reflection?
And meet Lullaby Lucy.
This one here is actually one of my favorite.
Lucy has been spending her nights at the museum in a peaceful slumber. Or has she?
So we're wondering, is she dreaming? What are her nightmares of?
Visitors are provided clues about where to find the dolls, if they dare to search.
There are some that would definitely send some chills up and down visitors' spines.
But like any nightmare, the doll's visit is only temporary. Soon they'll find their way back to the museum's darkest corners, where they keep the city's deepest secrets. Jackie Kostek, CBS News, Chicago.
Oh boy, so most of those dolls are more than a century old. That exhibit runs through November 6th, so you can catch it this weekend if you dare.
Yeah, I think I'll pass.
Yeah, I'm not a big into creepy dolls either.
No, a little unnerving, especially that last one that was standing up.
Yeah, that was scary.
Yeah.
I didn't like that one either.
Well, thanks. But
Oh, boy.
hey, if he seems to love it though, so more power to him.
One of the scariest haunted houses I ever went through, there was a room where it was just like twinkly music and dolls.
Oh, yeah.
And it was super scary.
Yeah, super simple concept, but it does the job.
Yeah, absolutely.
Happy Halloween indeed.
Yeah, we'll be right back to wrap things up.
Get the day's news in your inbox. Email newsletters from News 8 Now. Sign up today. Go to news8000.com/newsletters to get started.
Tim Michaels' company has been sued numerous times for sexual assault and harassment. Women said they were groped and pressured to have sex with their bosses. Those who spoke out were fired. Is that the kind of divisive radical you want as governor?
Visit Menards Lighting Showroom for the latest styles and trends in stock. Take the guesswork out of finding matching lights and give your home a coordinated look throughout with the Samuel Collection. Save 11% on all Patriot lighting. Control that new lighting with Lutron LED Plus dimmers. Easy to install and adds over 250 different lighting levels to customize your needs. Change the lighting in your room and make a statement with Lutron dimmers. Now 11% off here at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
This is fentanyl, so dangerous that one pill kills. They make it in China, smuggle it through Mexico. Across our border that Joe Biden surrendered to cartels and gangs. Brad Path backs Biden's open border agenda 100%. Fentanyl killed 1,200 people last year in Wisconsin alone. Now every town is a border town. Path won't stop the drugs, so we have to stop Brad Path.
I'm Derek Van Orden, and I approve this message.
Madison insider and career politician Steve Doyle, completely out of touch. Under Doyle's failed leadership, soaring inflation, high gas prices, rising crime, and party bosses and insiders are funneling over $500,000 to keep Doyle in power, answering to them, not us. It's time for change. Ryan Hipsch, born and raised here in the Cooley region. Ryan is a fresh voice who will always put our communities first, not the Madison insiders. Ryan Hipsch for Assembly.
Tim Michaels wants to scare you with lies. Here's the truth. Independent fact-checkers gave Michaels' parole attacks a pants-on-fire rating, saying they were false and that the governor does not allow any release of criminals. That's a fact. And here's another fact. Tony Evers actually increased police funding, and he's working to invest in high-crime areas, in job training, after-school programs, and mental health. So when you see all these, do this.
Did you know Tim Michels encourages violence from his supporters?
People should just be ready to get out in the streets with pitchforks and torches.
He's extremely divisive.
I don't care who I offend.
Is that the kind of divisive radical you want as governor?
Seasonably chilly overnight, lows in the 30s to near 40 degrees. Quickly warm up tomorrow with lots of sunshine. 71 for the high to welcome in November. Low 70s through Thursday. Finally, a chance of rain by Thursday night into Friday.
All right. Thanks, Bill, and thanks for watching.
We appreciate your time. Have a good night, and we will see you tomorrow.